Hello, this is Natalie with the Wisdom Within, Intuition Primer, your Magical Inner Compass series. And in this segment, we're actually going to talk about a process to use to tune in and tap into your intuition. Now, in this particular segment, I'm going to cover the basic process and one way to tune in, and then in the next few segments I'll cover variations of this process. But this is really the core process, and when I walk you through the steps, you're pretty much going to go, that's it, you know, because it's really easy, or it seems overly simplistic, I should say, but I think it's meant to be that way. It was meant to be that easy, but because so many of us have gotten detached from it, it seems like sometimes a more difficult process. But these are the basic steps that I use when I'm tuning into my intuition. And when I say that, it's the steps I use when I'm sitting down wanting to tap into my own higher wisdom, wanting to connect with spirit, or I'm doing a professional intuitive reading, psychic reading for someone. So my process is, it's a 6-step process: prayer, get quiet, ask a question. So notice what comes in, document it, and then give thanks. So those are the 6 basic steps. So let's go over how, you know, that actually comes together. So I start with prayer, and prayer for me is setting the intention that I'm only calling in the highest light and love, you know, to be the source of the information I'm receiving. So, you know, that prayer, you know, my prayer goes something like, "Dear beloved God, heavenly angels, divine guides, and the highest healing forces in the universe, please bless, direct, and protect this process and create the highest healing and insight possible. I ask that my ego self and personality stand aside so I am a clear and open channel. I ask that all information that comes through for the individual before me or for myself be for the highest and best good of all concerned." And as always, we thank you for joining us and working with us in love and light today. And so it is. And that's my prayer. Now, I highly encourage you to customize and make your own prayer. But again, the basic intent is just to have this set a clear intention that you're only calling in information from the highest love and light. I mean, there's lots of energies out there that are not always as evolved or as advanced. So I'm just setting the intention. That's what I'm tuning in. I'm telling my body, my psyche, everything about me that that's what we're tuning into. And think of your intuition as a little radio dial. So you can just open up, and whoever wants to come in can come in. That's why the Ouija board can be a little dangerous to people who don't know what they're doing. You know, when you're setting your prayer of intention, you can just intend, I am calling in this now. So that's the prayer of intention. Then after you say your prayer, you need to get quiet for a little bit and let the information come in to you. So just get quiet. Then as you quiet after your prayer, then you ask a question. Now it could be your question or it could be the client's question, what they most want to know today. So you ask that question. Then as soon as you ask that question, you just wait to receive. So you've said your prayer, you've got quiet, you've asked the question, and now you sort of let your mind be open like receiving hands and just allow the information to come through. Now, if this is your first experience doing it this way, the information may come through a little fuzzy, a little dark, a little disjointed in bits and pieces. That's natural and normal. Just, you know, be sure to document whatever information comes through for you and whatever you're getting. As I said, I'm a big proponent of documenting, and so that is the next step. Once you've kind of allowed yourself to be aware, then you're documenting either by talking to the client in front of you and telling them what's coming through your senses, but again, you're just sharing what's coming through. You're not analyzing or assessing or interpreting. You're just sharing what's coming through. And so that's the same thing you should be doing when you're documenting. Now is not the time to analyze or decipher what's coming in. So then once you've documented, then give thanks. Thank you, Spirit, for this information, this opportunity to work for you today. And then the session is done. Kind of work through those kind of quick, but you know, then once you've done that, then now is the time that you could go in and start deciphering and working with the information that came through. But we're going to actually go into that a little deeper a little later on after we cover the various approaches to tuning in. So in this segment, we just covered the basic steps, And in the next segment, it's a couple of segments, we're going to talk about tuning in like a radio dial fashion, also as a kind of envisioning a white room, or a theta healing technique for tuning in. So stay tuned to the Intuition Primer video series. This is Natalie with the Wisdom Within. Sorry. Thank you for joining me.